Greetings and salutations. Thank you for lending an ear to the voice of the times. This Tuesday, April 5, 2022. For today's editorial, fully vaccinated definition sparks debate. A debate over whether the definition of a fully vaccinated individual should be revised reflects the evolving perception on the efficacy of vaccines to protect against COVID-19. The widely held view, and the one that the Department of Health subscribes to, is that a person is fully vaccinated 2 weeks after receiving all the recommended doses in the primary series of their COVID-19 vaccination. Nobody contested that view until breakthrough infections, people still getting infected despite being fully inoculated, began to rise. As it became clear that the immunity provided by vaccines eventually wanes, attention shifted to booster doses as an added shield against severe infection. Today, a person is classified as up-to-date with their COVID-19 vaccination if they have received their primary doses and one booster shot. Last week, Dr. Ronchjean Solante, a member of the government's vaccine expert panel, took a step further and recommended that the definition of fully vaccinated be expanded to include primary vaccine series plus the booster. Health Undersecretary Rosario Vergiere was quick to disagree. Changing the definition could cause confusion, since there are still Filipinos who have not been vaccinated for COVID-19, Vergiere said. She instead proposed that authorities maintain the up-to-date classification. That way, we can encourage more of our citizens to get vaccinated, she said. Solante may have been emboldened by developments in the United States, where proposals to change the definition of fully vaccinated are gaining traction. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the chief medical advisor to the US president, believes it's a question of when, not if, the new definition will be officially accepted. The calls for administering booster shots were triggered by a new wave of Omicron cases in several countries. In the US, Omicron is predicted to become the dominant variant. So far, the Philippines has eluded a new spike in Omicron cases, but health officials are not letting their guard down. They say that if Omicron does strike again, it might be in June, after the elections, which could breed potential superspreader events. The threat remains because vaccination goals have not been met. Only 65.9 million have been fully vaccinated, or just 73% of the target population. The rate for booster shots is even lower, 12 million out of a target of 46.1 million. The presidential advisor for entrepreneurship, Jose Maria Joey Concepcion III, is worried that the low booster rate could trigger another COVID surge and slow down economic recovery. But the bigger problem for Concepcion is that many of the vaccines reserved for booster shots only have a shelf life of about 2.5 months and are due to expire soon. Our vaccines will not last until the end of the year, and we need to encourage Filipinos to do their duty and take their boosters. We need to encourage the incoming administration that by buying vaccines for the people, and the people are willingly taking them, it is not throwing good money after bad, he said. The reality is that more people who have been fully vaccinated feel they are protected enough and do not need a third dose. They contend that there's no point getting a booster now that COVID restrictions have been eased. It is this newfound complacency that health officials must overcome. Concepcion says one way out of that quandary is to require a booster card to gain access to indoor business, commercial, and entertainment venues. He said his proposal for mandatory booster cards is backed by restaurateurs and franchising and retail groups. It could, however, meet stiff resistance from anti-vaccination groups, which had earlier taken their cause before the courts. The government was also reluctant to pursue mandatory vaccination because it wanted to avoid legal entanglements. Resolving the question over the definition of a fully vaccinated individual is critical. Expanding the term to include people who have received booster shots will necessitate major adjustments in the government's vaccination policy and strategy. But a decision has to be made soon. We don't want to be left with thousands of expired booster shots. And that's the editorial for Tuesday, April 5, 2022. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to our digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and listen to The Voice of the Times.